I had always known the mark on my skin was unusual. It sat just below my left collarbone, a faint geometric pattern that looked almost like a scar, but no doctor had ever been able to explain it. It didn't hurt. It didn't glow. It didn't react to scans. To humans, it was just another strange birthmark, something easily ignored in a galaxy full of stranger things. To aliens, apparently, it was something else entirely. I learned that the moment the alienqueen froze mid-step, staring directly at my chest. The grand hall of the Aurelian Throneworld was silent. Thousands of alien nobles, warriors, and diplomats filled the tiered balconies, their bioluminescent eyes following every movement. I stood alone in the center of the chamber, hands restrained, having been brought here as a human anomaly recovered from a disputed border system. I wasn't important. At least, I didn't think I was. Until Queen Seraphel of Aurelian saw me. She was taller than any human, her form elegant and terrifying at once, skin like polished pearl, eyes glowing gold, and a crown of floating crystalline shards orbiting her head in slow, deliberate motion. She had ruled her empire for over 4 centuries, undefeated in war, unmatched in authority. She had been descending the steps of her throne when her gaze dropped and locked onto my chest. Her breath caught. The entire hall seemed to feel it. "Remove his restraints," she said softly. A murmur rippled through the chamber. "My queen," one of the guards hissed. "He is unclassified. Potentially dangerous." Seraphel did not look away from me. "I said," she repeated, her voice suddenly sharp enough to cut steel, "remove them." The restraints fell away. My arms dropped to my sides, my pulse pounding so loudly I was sure everyone could hear it. She stepped closer. Closer still. Then she reached out, her long fingers hovering inches from my skin. Her voice trembled. "That mark," she whispered. I swallowed. "I've had it since birth." Her eyes widened. "No," she said. "You have had it since before this life." The hall erupted into chaos. Impossible. A myth. The prophecy was symbolic. Seraphel raised one hand, and silence returned instantly. She looked directly into my eyes. Then she said the words that would shatter everything I thought I knew about myself. "It really is you. Middle. The truth of the past." They moved me from the throne hall to a private chamber guarded by elite sentinels. The walls shimmered with living light, responding to emotion and thought. I paced, trying to process what had just happened. Who was me? And why did the most powerful ruler in this quadrant look like she'd just seen a ghost? The doors parted silently. Queen Seraphel entered alone. No guards, no attendants, no crown. Without the floating shards, she looked younger. Almost vulnerable. "You are frightened," she said. "I think that's a reasonable response," I replied. "Your Majesty." She smiled faintly. "You may call me Seraphel. Titles feel unnecessary right now." She gestured to the mark on my skin. "May I?" I hesitated, then nodded. Her fingers brushed the pattern. The mark lit up. Golden lines flared across my skin, responding to her touch like a key recognizing its lock. The room hummed, ancient energy awakening. Seraphel stepped back, eyes shining. "It is the sigil of continuance," she said. "A mark borne by only one soul in our history." I laughed nervously. "You're saying I'm some kind of chosen one?" "No," she said softly. "I am saying you are someone who already chose." She activated a projection. Light unfolded into a scene, stars, warships, planets burning. 4,000 cycles ago, she began, our empire faced extinction. A being from another species, your species, though humanity did not yet exist, stood with us. I stared at the projection. A figure appeared, humanoid, Familiar. Too familiar. He was called Kale, Seraphel said, a guardian from beyond our known galaxy. He bore the sigil, just as you do. The figure turned. It was me. Not exactly, but close enough to make my knees weak. Same eyes. Same stance. Same mark. He saved our civilization, she continued. Not through conquest, but sacrifice. When the final enemy breached our core world, Kale chose to seal them away by binding his essence to the continuum. And I'm what? I asked. A reincarnation? An echo, she said. A return. Your soul was never destroyed, only scattered. Reborn again and again across time. My voice came out hoarse. And you recognized me because of the mark. No, Seraphel corrected gently. I recognized you because of the way you stood. The way you looked at me, not with fear, but curiosity. She turned away. I have waited lifetimes for you, she admitted, knowing you might never remember. Silence stretched between us. Finally, I asked the question that mattered most. What do you want from me now? She faced me again. Nothing, she said. That choice must always be yours. The threat returns. We didn't have long to talk. Alarms echoed through the palace. The light dimmed, shifting to warning hues. An aide burst in. My queen. The Void Ascendancy has breached the outer defense line. They demand the sigil bearer. My blood ran cold. Seraphel's expression hardened instantly, the queen returning like armor snapping into place. They have sensed you, she said to me, as they did before. Because of the mark, I realized. She nodded. They fear what you represent. Then let me go, I said. If I'm the target. She stepped closer, eyes blazing. You will not face them alone. Not again. The palace shook as explosions rocked the upper spires. Seraphel placed a hand over my chest. Over the mark. If the sigil awakens fully, she said, you may remember everything. Power, pain, loss. And if it doesn't, then we fall. I met her gaze. Then let's not fall. She hesitated, just a moment, then nodded. Very well, she said. Stand with me. The awakening. The battlefield unfolded above the capital, void ships clashing in brilliant arcs of plasma and energy. The Void Ascendancy's flagship loomed like a wound in space, radiating dark gravity. Seraphel raised her staff, channeling the planetary defense grid. I felt the mark burn. Not painfully, awakeningly. Memories flooded in. Stars I had flown past before they were born. Battles fought not with hatred, but resolve. A promise made to a queen who had been far younger then and just as alone. I staggered. Seraphel caught me. You remember, she whispered. I remember enough, I said. I raised my hand instinctively. Space bent. The Void flagship screamed, not with sound, but with collapsing reality, as its core unraveled, sealed back into the continuum it had once escaped. The remaining ships fled. Silence returned to the sky. The war was over. Ending, not a myth, but a choice. Later, as dawnlight spilled across the palace terraces, I stood beside Seraphel overlooking the city. You could rule, she said quietly, with me, as you once did. I looked down at the mark. It was dim now, quiet. I'm not him anymore, I said. Not fully. She nodded. I know. She turned to me, eyes soft. But you are you, and that has always been enough. I smiled faintly. So what happens now? She extended her hand, not as a queen, but as a woman who had waited across centuries. Now, she said, you decide who you want to be and whether you wish to stay. I took her hand. The mark warmed, not with destiny, but with choice. And for the first time, the future felt unwritten.